Picture this. It's 3 a.m. The house is completely silent. Suddenly, a furry orange blur launches off your chest, knocks over a glass of water, and starts aggressively fighting an invisible ghost in the corner of your bedroom. Sounds familiar, right? If you are the proud parent of an orange cat, you already know that living with them is like living with a tiny, furry comedian who occasionally forgets how gravity works. But have you ever stopped to wonder, why? Do you ever look into those big, beautiful eyes and think, is he doing this on purpose to drive me crazy? Or did his software just crash? Today, we are diving deep into the hilarious, bizarre, and absolutely incredible world of orange cats. We are going to uncover the scientific secrets, the genetic mysteries, and the behavioral quirks that make gingers the most unique felines on the planet. I promise you, by the end of this video, you will look at your fluffy little menace in a whole new light. But before we get into the wild facts, I need to know. Head down to the comments right now and tell me the name of your orange hooligan and the absolute weirdest thing they do. Let's see who has the craziest ginger cat. Before we start exposing the secrets of our orange babies, let's take a quick look at the nature of cats in general. For thousands of years, cats have been the ultimate independent apex predators. Unlike dogs, who we selectively bred to fetch our slippers and herd our sheep, cats kind of just domesticated themselves. They figured out that where there are humans, there is food, and where there is food, there are mice. They essentially walked into our barns, killed a few rodents, and immediately demanded to be worshipped as gods. And honestly, we completely fell for it. By nature, cats are solitary hunters, incredibly territorial, and professional nappers who spend up to 16 hours a day catching up on beauty sleep. They are built for stealth, agility, and survival. But somewhere along the line, as they moved from the barns to our cozy living room sofas, their personalities began to blossom in ways we never expected. And when it comes to personality, no cat brings more drama, more comedy, and more absolute chaos to the table than the legendary orange tabby. But why is that? Let's break down the facts. Let's talk about the internet's favorite joke first, the legendary one orange brain cell. If you spend any time on social media, you've probably seen the memes. The joke goes that all the orange cats in the world share a single brain cell, and they have to wait patiently for their turn to use it. And honestly, if you own a ginger cat, you've probably had moments where you looked into their eyes and saw nothing but elevator music playing. Picture this. Your cat is staring intensely at a blank wall for 20 minutes, or maybe they just tried to jump on the counter, miscalculated completely, and slid off like a piece of wet spaghetti. You start to wonder, are they broken? But here is the fascinating truth. Animal behaviorists suggest that this goofy, seemingly airheaded behavior isn't actually a lack of intelligence. It's actually a combination of high confidence and extreme curiosity. Orange cats are notoriously fearless compared to other coat colors. Because they aren't scared of much, they are more willing to take risks, try silly jumps, and investigate things that a more cautious cat would avoid. So when your orange boy is stuck in an empty Amazon box looking confused, he isn't stupid. He is just a very brave explorer who didn't think about his exit strategy. They throw themselves into life paws first, and that fearlessness is exactly what gives us those hilarious viral moments. Now, let's dive into some actual feline genetics. But don't worry, I'll keep it fun. Did you know that your orange cat is most likely a boy? It's true. There is a massive gender gap in the ginger cat world. About 80% of all orange cats are male, and only 20% are female. Why? Because the gene that produces the orange fur color is linked directly to the X chromosome. Since female cats have two X chromosomes, they need to inherit the orange gene from both their mother and their father to be completely orange. If they only get one, they become a beautiful calico or tortoiseshell. But male cats only have one X chromosome, which they get from their mom. If mom passes down the orange gene, boom, you get an orange boy. This genetic quirk essentially makes orange cats the frat boys of the feline world. It's a literal boys' club. This is also why female orange cats are considered somewhat rare and special. So, if you have a girl ginger cat, you essentially have a little rare shiny Pokemon living in your house. But regardless of whether they are a boy or a girl, that genetic makeup is just the beginning of what makes them so incredibly unique and scientifically fascinating to researchers and cat parents alike. Here is a mind-blowing fact that ruins a very common myth. There is absolutely no such thing as a solid orange cat. I know. You might be looking at your ginger kitty right now thinking, wait a minute, my cat doesn't have stripes, he's completely solid orange. But I promise you, if you take him out into the bright sunlight and look very, very closely at his fur, you will see them. The stripes are there. This is because the genetic code that creates the orange pigment, known as pheomelanin, is tightly linked to the agouti gene, which is the gene responsible for the tabby pattern. The tabby pattern is the default setting for all domestic cats, tracing all the way back to their wild ancestors in the desert. While other coat colours like black or grey have a specific gene that can successfully mask or hide the tabby stripes, creating a solid colour coat, the orange gene is simply too strong. It refuses to be hidden. It completely overrides the masking gene every single time. So, whether the stripes are bold and dark like a miniature tiger, or incredibly faint and ghost-like, every single orange cat on the planet is a tabby cat. Your seemingly solid orange fluffball is actually a master of camouflage, hiding his true tiger stripes. Have you ever looked closely at your orange cat's little pink nose, or inside their mouth and noticed tiny black spots? For a lot of first-time cat parents, this can be a terrifying moment. You might think, oh no, is it dirt? Is it a dangerous skin condition? Do I need to rush to the vet right now? Take a deep breath and relax. Those little black dots are actually one of the cutest features of the ginger cat. It is a completely harmless genetic condition known as lentigo. You can think of lentigo as the feline equivalent of freckles. Just like how humans with red hair and fair skin are more prone to getting freckles when they go out in the sun, cats with the orange gene are highly prone to developing these little pigment spots on their lips, gums, nose, and even the margins of their eyelids. They usually start showing up when the cat is a year or two old, and they might multiply as your cat gets older. They don't hurt, they aren't raised or itchy, and they have absolutely zero impact on your cat's health. It is just another special little quirk that comes with the orange fur package. So, next time you see those spots, don't panic. Just boop that little freckled nose and tell them how incredibly cute they are. Let's talk about the M on their forehead. If you look right above your orange cat's eyes, you will see a distinct M shape in their fur pattern. This has sparked countless beautiful and mystical legends throughout human history. One famous Christian legend says that baby Jesus was shivering in the manger, and a little orange tabby cat climbed in to keep him warm and purred him to sleep. In gratitude, the Virgin Mary stroked the cat's head, leaving her initial M as a mark of blessing. In the Islamic world, the legend says that the Prophet Muhammad loved cats, and his favorite tabby, Muezza, saved him from a poisonous snake. Muhammad pet the cat's forehead, leaving the M mark to show the world that this animal is protected. While these stories are incredibly sweet and show how much humans have adored these cats for centuries, the scientific truth is a bit more grounded. The M is simply a standard feature of the tabby genetic pattern. Every tabby cat has it, but because orange cats have such bright, contrasting fur, the M usually stands out much more prominently on them than on darker cats. But honestly, in our houses, we all know that the M actually stands for menace, monster, or meow very loudly at 4 a.m. Why are orange cats the absolute superstars of pop culture? Think about it. Garfield, Puss in Boots from Shrek, Orion from Men in Black, Goose from Captain Marvel, Milo from Milo and Otis, and the iconic cat from Breakfast at Tiffany's. Hollywood is completely obsessed with ginger cats. But why? Is it a massive coincidence? Not at all. Casting directors and animators specifically choose orange cats for a few very practical and psychological reasons. First, their bright color pops beautifully on camera and contrasts well against most backgrounds, making them visually striking. Second, the prominent tabby markings on their faces, especially around their eyes and that M on the forehead, make their facial expressions much easier to read. It makes them look incredibly expressive and almost human-like, which is perfect for movies where the cat needs to show attitude, sass, or emotion. But most importantly, it ties back to how we perceive them as a society. We already view orange cats as funny, outgoing, and slightly goofy. So when a director needs a cat that feels like a comedic sidekick or a lovable rogue, the ginger cat is the natural, perfect choice. They are the undeniable A-list celebrities of the feline universe, and they definitely act like divas to prove it. Are orange cats actually friendlier than other cats, or is it all in our heads? If you ask any orange cat parent, they will swear up and down that their ginger baby is the sweetest, most affectionate, most Velcro-like cat they have ever owned. They are the cats that will follow you into the bathroom, sit on your laptop while you're trying to work, and demand aggressive belly rubs. Interestingly, science has actually looked into this. Several surveys conducted by veterinary universities have asked people to rank cat colors by personality. Across the board, orange cats are consistently rated as the most friendly, affectionate, and outgoing. Now, geneticists will tell you that coat color does not strictly dictate personality. Breed and socialization play a much bigger role. However, there is a very real psychological phenomenon happening here. Because orange cats are mostly male, and male cats tend to be slightly more outgoing and tolerant of handling than females, who are often more protective and cautious, the large population of male gingers skews our perception. Plus, because we expect them to be friendly based on pop culture, we might actually socialize with them more positively from a young age, creating a self-fulfilling prophecy. We treat them like golden retrievers, so they act like golden retrievers. Now we need to address the vocalizations, because oh boy, do orange cats love to talk. If you have an orange tabby, you probably don't just get a standard meow when it's dinner time. You get trills, chirps, yowls, squeaks, and full-blown lectures. They are incredibly conversational. You can literally ask your orange cat, "How was your day?" and they will give you a 5-minute response filled with dramatic pauses and intense eye contact. But why are they so chatty? Part of this goes back to that extreme confidence we talked about earlier. Orange cats feel very secure in their territory, which is your house, you just pay the mortgage. Because they feel confident, they aren't afraid to draw attention to themselves. A shy or anxious cat will stay quiet to avoid being noticed, but an orange cat wants everyone to know exactly how they are feeling at all times. Whether they are annoyed that their food bowl is only 90% full, or they are just walking into an empty room and announcing their grand arrival, they use their voice to control their environment. They have essentially trained us. They know that if they scream loud enough and long enough, the giant hairless apes, that's us, will eventually give them the treats they desire. They are master manipulators with a built-in megaphone. Let's talk about the Garfield stereotype, the undeniable, relentless food motivation. Is it just a cartoon joke that orange cats love to eat, or is it reality? Well, veterinary clinics will confirm that orange cats do seem to have a disproportionately high representation in the chunky cat category. These ginger tornadoes are often incredibly food motivated. They are the cats who will try to steal a piece of pizza right out of your hand, shamelessly beg while you are eating dinner, and act like they are starving to death, even though they just ate 30 minutes ago. This intense love for food ties back to their highly interactive and bold personalities. Because they are bold, they aren't afraid to risk getting in trouble for counter-surfing or breaking into the treat cabinet. They view obtaining extra food as a fun game or a puzzle to solve. However, as funny as a chunky ginger cat looks on the internet, this is actually a place where cat parents need to be careful. Because they love food so much, and they are very good at begging with those big, sad eyes, it is very easy to overfeed them. Obesity in cats leads to diabetes and joint issues. So next time your ginger boy tries to convince you he has never been fed in his entire life, stay strong. Don't let the cuteness trick you into giving him a third dinner. Did you know that your goofy orange-haired cat might actually have Viking warrior blood running through their veins? It sounds crazy, but historical genetics actually point to this. Researchers studying the spread of the mutant orange gene in feline populations found that the frequency of orange cats is unusually high in rural areas of Britain, and remarkably, along the historic coastal routes used by the Vikings. Hundreds of years ago, Vikings were incredibly pragmatic people, and they had a massive problem on their longships: rats. Rats would eat their food supplies and chew through ropes, so the Vikings started bringing cats on board their ships to act as pest control, and apparently, they really loved the bold, confident, and highly effective hunting skills of the orange tabbies. As the Vikings travelled, traded, and settled across Europe and the British Isles, they brought their ginger mouses with them. These ship cats would hop off at various ports, mingle with the local feline populations, and spread the orange gene far and wide. So the next time your orange cat is aggressively hunting a crumpled-up receipt on your living room floor, or doing parkour off the walls, just remember, they aren't crazy. They are just channeling the fierce, exploratory spirit of their ancient Viking ancestors. We established earlier that all orange cats are tabbies, but did you know there are actually 4 completely distinct types of tabby patterns? That's right, not all gingers wear the same outfit. The most common is the mackerel tabby, which gives the cat those beautiful vertical tiger stripes running down their sides. Then there is the classic tabby, which is my personal favourite. Classic tabbies have thick, swirling patterns on their sides that look exactly like a freshly baked cinnamon roll or marble cake. Next, we have the ticked tabby, which is quite rare in orange cats. Ticked tabbios don't have distinct stripes on their bodies. Instead, each individual hair is banded with alternating light and dark orange colours, giving them a beautiful, glowing, sand-like appearance. Finally, we have the spotted tabby, where the stripes are broken up into distinct, adorable little spots all over their belly and sides, making them look like a tiny ginger leopard. Take a minute right now to look at your orange cat, if they aren't currently zooming around the house, and see if you can identify which of the 4 patterns they have. It is amazing how much variety exists just within the orange coat colour alone. They are like beautiful, furry little snowflakes. No 2 are exactly alike. Let's talk about those mesmerizing eyes. Have you ever noticed that you almost never see an orange cat with deep emerald green eyes? It's incredibly rare. The vast majority of orange cats have eyes that range from golden yellow to amber, copper, or a pale greenish gold. This isn't just a coincidence, it is deeply connected to their coat color genetics. The same pigment that creates their bright orange fur, pheomelanin, also plays a huge role in the pigmentation of their irises. Because they produce so much of this specific pigment, it naturally pushes their eye color towards the warmer, richer tones of the spectrum, like gold and copper. When the light hits a copper-eyed orange cat just right, they look absolutely majestic, like a little lion sitting in your living room. Of course, all kittens are born with blue eyes, but as your ginger kitten grows and their melanin production kicks in, those eyes will slowly transition into those beautiful, intense golden shades. There is something intensely piercing about an orange cat staring at you with bright copper eyes from across the room. It usually means they are either judging your life choices or they are calculating the exact trajectory needed to jump on your head. We absolutely must discuss a phenomenon that cat parents lovingly refer to as orange cat energy. This is a very specific type of chaotic aura that only ginger cats seem to possess. It's the sudden, unprovoked urge to run sideways down the hallway like a crab. It's the decision to aggressively attack the dog's tail when the dog is completely asleep. It's the zoomies that strike precisely at 3:14 a.m., involving ricocheting off the television stand and knocking over exactly one expensive vase. Why is their energy so chaotic? As we mentioned, it comes down to a lack of fear and a high level of environmental engagement. An anxious cat will hide when they are bored. An orange cat will invent a game, even if that game is, how many things can I push off this table before the human yells? They are highly stimulated by their environment. They want to be involved in whatever you are doing. If you are folding laundry, they must sit on the warm towels. If you are typing on a keyboard, they must chew on the corner of your laptop screen. Orange cat energy is essentially a lifestyle. It is a commitment to living every single day with maximum enthusiasm, zero impulse control, and an absolute refusal to feel embarrassed by their own clumsy mistakes. While we love joking about their chaotic energy, there are actually a few health quirks specific to orange cats that every responsible cat parent should know about. Generally speaking, orange tabbies are robust, healthy, and can live long, happy lives, often reaching 15 years or more. However, they are statistically more prone to a few specific issues. First and foremost, dental disease. For reasons veterinarians are still studying, cats with the orange and tabby genes seem highly susceptible to gingivitis and tooth decay. This means you really need to keep an eye on their dental health. I know, the idea of trying to brush an orange cat's teeth sounds like an extreme sport that ends in blood and tears, but regular vet checkups are crucial. Secondly, as we discussed earlier, their extreme love for food puts them at a much higher risk for feline obesity. An overweight cat is at risk for diabetes, arthritis, and liver issues. It is our job to protect them from their own gluttony. We have to be the bad guys who say no to the third serving of treats, no matter how loudly they yell at us. Keeping them lean, active, and taking care of their teeth is the secret to ensuring your ginger comedian stays on the stage for a very long time. Let's look at their social dynamics, both with humans and with other animals. Orange cats are often referred to as the social butterflies or the greetings committee of the house. When a stranger comes to the door, a typical cat might run under the bed and hide for 3 hours. The orange cat? He's right at the front door, sniffing the pizza delivery guy's shoes, demanding to be pet, and possibly trying to climb into the pizza bag. They have an incredible capacity for socializing. This also extends to how they interact with other pets. In multi-cat households, the orange cat often naturally assumes the role of either the peacekeeper or the friendly, annoying little brother. They are usually the ones initiating play, grooming the other cats, even when the other cats clearly don't want to be groomed, and trying to cuddle up with the family dog. Their high confidence means they aren't easily intimidated by new additions to the family. They assume everyone wants to be their best friend. This makes them fantastic family pets, especially in chaotic households with kids or dogs, because the orange cat is completely unbothered by the noise. They just view it as more entertainment for themselves. Have you ever walked into a room and found your orange cat sleeping in a position that defies the laws of anatomy? Maybe they are folded in half, face planted directly into the carpet, or sleeping on their back with all 4 paws stretched completely out, exposing their fluffy belly to the world. Their sleeping habits are legendary. While any cat can sleep in weird positions, orange cats seem to take it to an Olympic level. This actually tells us a lot about their psychology. In the wild, a cat's belly is their most vulnerable area. Exposing it means they are open to attack. Therefore, when your ginger cat sleeps sprawled out on his back right in the middle of the hallway where anyone could step on him, it is the ultimate display of trust and security. He is telling you, I feel completely safe in this territory, and I know nothing here is going to hurt me. Their lack of anxiety allows them to reach levels of deep relaxation that more high-strung cats never achieve. But beware, just because the fluffy orange belly is exposed does not mean you are invited to touch it. Often, it is a perfectly laid trap, and if you go in for the belly rub, you will quickly find your hand wrapped in sharp little claws in a game of bunny kicks. Here is a weirdly specific trait that many orange cat owners report: a bizarre fascination with water. While the stereotype is that all cats hate water, the confident ginger tabby often begs to differ. Many orange cat parents find that they can't even take a shower without their furry friend sitting on the edge of the tub, staring intently at the water, and occasionally batting at the shower curtain. They are the cats who will jump into the sink the second you turn on the faucet, and insist on drinking directly from the tap instead of their expensive filtered water fountain. They also have a terrible habit of finding the glass of water you left on the nightstand, dipping their dirty little litter box paws into it, and then licking the water off their paw. Or worse, performing the classic gravity test and just pushing the glass right off the table. Why do they do this? Again, it comes back to curiosity overriding caution. The movement, the sound, and the reflections of the water are highly stimulating to their active brains. They just can't resist investigating it. So, if you live with an orange cat, you probably already know the golden rule. Never, ever leave a glass of water unattended, unless you want a wet carpet. Did you know that orange cats have a seriously impressive historical pedigree? They haven't just conquered the internet, they have conquered some of the greatest minds in history. Perhaps the most famous historical lover of orange cats was Winston Churchill. Churchill absolutely adored cats, but he had a special fondness for a marmalade ginger tabby named Jock. Jock was a gift to Churchill, and the Prime Minister loved him so much that the cat was allowed to attend wartime cabinet meetings. Jock would sit on Churchill's lap while they discussed matters of state. In fact, Churchill was so devoted to his ginger companion that when he passed away, he left a specific request in his will regarding his family home, Chartwell. He requested that there must always be an orange tabby cat with a white bib and white paws, named Jock, living comfortably at Chartwell forever. And to this day, the National Trust honours that request. The current resident is Jock VII, living a life of luxury. It just goes to show that the charm of the orange cat is universal. Whether you are a regular person trying to sleep at 3 a.m. or a world leader making historical decisions, you are utterly powerless against the purr of a ginger tabby. So, we return to the big question. Are orange cats actually problem solvers, or are they just chaos creators? This is the ultimate paradox of the ginger cat. On one hand, we joke about the one brain cell. But on the other hand, who is the cat in the house that figured out how to open the lever-style door handles? The orange cat. Who is the cat that managed to knock the treat jar off the top shelf so it would shatter on the floor, allowing them to feast? The orange cat. They possess a very specific type of mischievous intelligence. They might not be the most elegant or graceful animals. They will regularly miss jumps and fall off the sofa while sleeping. But when it comes to getting exactly what they want, they are relentless problem solvers. Their intelligence is entirely focused on their own desires. If a puzzle toy has food inside, they will violently smash it against the wall until it opens, proving that brute force is a valid intellectual strategy. They teach us that intelligence doesn't always look like quiet, calculated proportion. Sometimes, intelligence looks like screaming at a cabinet until a human gives up and opens it for you. They are brilliant, but they use their brilliance purely for mischief. Despite all the broken vases, the 3 a.m. wake-up calls, the stolen food, and the chaotic energy, there is a reason why orange cats are some of the most beloved pets on Earth. It is their incredible capacity for empathy and emotional support. Because they are so tuned into their environment and so deeply bonded with their humans, they are often the first ones to notice when you are having a bad day. If you are crying on the couch, the orange cat is usually the one who will abandon their favourite sunbeam, jump up beside you, and start headbutting your chin while purring like a diesel engine. They might not be the most graceful, and they might act like they have an empty head most of the time, but their hearts are absolutely massive. They offer a specific type of comfort that is unconditional and completely pure. They don't judge you. They just want to be near you. Living with an orange cat means accepting the madness, because the reward is a level of affection and loyalty that is unmatched. They are not just pets, they are fairy little soulmates who keep us laughing, keep us on our toes, and make our houses feel incredibly warm and alive. And there you have it, fellow cat parents. The hilarious, scientific and heartwarming truth about what is actually going on inside that beautiful orange head. Now you know that when they are bouncing off the walls or staring blankly into space, they aren't broken. They are just living life with Viking confidence and maximum orange cat energy. Despite all the chaos, the knocked-over water glasses and the endless begging for food, we wouldn't trade our ginger babies for anything in the world. They bring so much laughter, love and light into our homes. If you learned something new today, or if your orange cat has ever made you question your own sanity, please hit that like button. It really helps out the channel. Make sure you subscribe and join our feline family so you never miss out on more awesome cat content. And don't forget to share this video with another cat parent who needs a good laugh. Before you go, I want to hear from you. What is the absolute weirdest, most one-brain cell thing your orange cat has ever done? Tell me the whole story down in the comments. I can't wait to read them. Until next time, give your fairy menace a big hug from me.